Home Depot's 2022 12-foot prop has been leaked. Let's take a look at him. For everything scary, I'm GMHaunts, and today is a very exciting video for all of my Home Depot Halloween fans. Just last night, a very interesting picture got leaked out onto the Haunter community, kind of online, various social media platforms. A very interesting picture that is supposedly coming to us from a Home Depot manager meeting. I'm not sure how accurate that piece of information is, but I know that this is a real photo, this is 100% real information, and it's very, very interesting. Now, if you didn't know, for the past couple of months, people have been wondering, will Home Depot continue the series of their 12-foot props going into the 2022 Halloween season? In 2020, we saw the 12-foot skeleton get released by Home Depot. In 2021, last year, we saw the Inferno pumpkin skeleton that was 12-foot. And the people have been wondering, will 2022 also be a continuation of the 12-foot lineup? Well, just last night, a brand new photo was leaked out that was taken by a Home Depot manager at what is supposedly a Home Depot manager meeting, and what it shows us is a leak and a first look at the brand new 2022 Home Depot 12-foot prop. Now, this picture is really interesting, first of all, because it confirms that a 12-foot prop will be coming for the 2022 season, a brand new one, and it is not a skeleton, a brand new idea, and also it gives us our first look at this item, and might I say, a very good look too. We basically get to get a look at the entire image and the entire prop, which is pretty awesome, and it's a very high quality picture, so it makes for a great look and a great exclusive leak first look at this brand new towering 12-foot prop coming to us from Home Depot for 2022. So without further ado, let's take a look at this brand new leaked photo of the new Home Depot 2022 12-foot prop. Alrighty, so this is the brand new picture that was supposedly taken at a Home Depot manager meeting with this brand new leaked animatronic, and surprise, Home Depot is making a 12-foot werewolf for the 2022 Halloween season. Now, before I get into discussion of this brand new leaked item, first of all, I just want to point out the stuff that you can see in the background, because there's also some interesting stuff going on alongside this brand new leaked werewolf. So first of all, I want to say the second thing that's as big as the werewolf is the Inferno pumpkin skeleton, the 12-footer that was released for the 2021 season by Home Depot. You can kind of see him in the background. Part of his face is covered up by this brand new werewolf's arms, but you can see most of his body and see that he is set up there. Behind the Inferno pumpkin skeleton, you can kind of see the facade of a creepy old house. It's got a bunch of lights on it. It kind of seems to have a skeleton, like a burnt skeleton, in the window, it looks like. Kind of on the porch, you have Sally from Night Before Christmas, obviously very famous. Then you have some inflatables kind of very close to where this werewolf is set up. You have a fence, you have some cobwebs, you have some spiders, you have some lights, and like I mentioned, you have some inflatables. There's a decent amount going on in the background of this picture with the werewolf, but with all of that out of the way, let's get into the actual discussion of this brand new leaked prop. So obviously, like I mentioned multiple times, this is going to be a very exciting piece of information for my Home Depot Halloween fans, and including myself, I'm really excited about this, because not only does it confirm that Home Depot is going forward with the 12-foot set, it also gives us our first look at the brand new 12-footer that is going to be released for 2022. Now, this animatronic, or I should say static prop, because most likely this is going to be static, is going to be manufactured by SVI, Seasonal Visions International. The way that we know this is because all of the other 12-footers in the set, the regular skeleton and the Inferno pumpkin skeleton, were also manufactured by SVI. And also, just by the way this guy looks, we can kind of tell he's SVI just by the way he looks. Now let's get into the actual discussion about what this guy looks like and my thoughts about him. So I know that a lot of my fellow haunters have been really praising this guy a lot just from this single photo. People have been saying that he might be their favorite from this set of 12-footers that Home Depot has released. People are loving the way he looks, they're loving his sculpt, they're loving his paint job. And to be completely honest with you, I agree with some of it, but I don't agree with all of it. I'm not a huge fan of this guy. Honestly, I don't think that this guy from this picture is my favorite of the Home Depot 12-foot set, and I have a couple of reasons for that. Number one, when I first look at this photo, and then when I look at it again, the only thing that I really think is, why doesn't this guy feature actual fur material? If this guy is manufactured by SVI, which we know he is, SVI is known for using real fur a lot of times for their like wolf animatronics or their wolf props. This guy is not made out of real fur. It seems to be some sort of shiny, plasticky material, maybe a blow mold. Honestly, I'm not really sure what it is from this picture, but we just know it's definitely not a fur material, kind of like a soft material. Obviously not made of real fur, but something to mimic fur. This guy's not made out of that. When I first looked at the photo, I kind of thought for a second that this looks strange, and I can't really figure out why. Then I pinpointed it. I was like, he isn't made out of a fur-like material. He's made out of like a plastic shiny material. That's my first con about this guy, is that he doesn't look like a real great wolf to me, just because he doesn't have a real mimicking fur material on him. He's made out of some sort of plasticky like material, which makes him look kind of shiny. I don't really like how that looks, and it makes him look kind of cheap, I'm not gonna lie. As much as I think the sculpt is great, which I'll get into in a second, the plastickiness and shininess of it is really making me just go, I don't love it. I don't love that he's shiny. A werewolf shouldn't be shiny. It makes him look cheap. It makes it look like that he's just going to crack. For me, I don't think he will, but it makes it look like that he will. And I feel like that a fur material would have made him 10 times better. But that's my first thing that I don't like about him, is the fur that he's lacking. Instead, he's just made up of a plasticky material for the body. I will say something that I do really enjoy about him, and that I agree all with the haunters that are saying they enjoy it, is the sculpt of this guy. The head of this guy looks absolutely amazing. I love the sculpt of the entire head. The ears look really awesome. That mouth, the snout, the eyes. The head is just really, really awesome. It looks big. I'm sure in real life it's probably going to be like a really big head, obviously bigger than a human head. I love the sculpt of him. I mean, it looks really awesome. I'll say it again, I really like the ears. The way the ears are kind of like pointed, it's like kind of like a sharp point. I really love the way that looks. The sculpt is pretty awesome, and again, it just looks pretty big. I love the way that looks. I do also enjoy the rest of the body. That goes along with the head. The body looks really awesome. The hands look really cool. The hands have kind of like a creepy, gross nail on each finger, which I really love the way that looks. The sculpt is really awesome. It really does look like that there's a lot going on his body. It's really detailed, looks really awesome. So overall, I actually think the sculpt of this guy is pretty good, and in my opinion, the sculpt is kind of the best thing about him, because let's talk about the other things that I don't love about this leaked 12-foot Home Depot werewolf. So another one of the things that, obviously you can see in this picture, but it's unfortunately one of the things that I don't enjoy. This is the outfit. So this guy is sporting a flannel plaid, whatever you want to call it, just jacket. You can kind of see his chest because it's not buttoned up, and then it kind of goes down his sleeves and it's kind of torn up. Then for his pants, he's just wearing basic torn blue pants. I feel like SVI is the manufacturer, or Home Depot is the designer, I'm not really sure who. Someone dropped the ball on this, because obviously whenever you think of werewolf, you always think of plaid and flannel. But I feel like it's just so plain and so generic. Like, there's so much more uniqueness that could have been done for the outfit of this werewolf. Instead of just going with the classic, generic, plain plaid with blue pants. Like, that's exactly what you think of when you think of a werewolf design, is exactly what he's wearing. And I get it. If you're a werewolf fan, that's exactly what you're going to want to see, is just the classic werewolf look. But in my opinion, I would have much more enjoyed to get a unique outfit, something maybe like a t-shirt, maybe like a torn up t-shirt that covered up most of his chest. The pants I could kind of deal with, but I feel like the jacket was what I don't enjoy. It's just so generic, it's so plain, and it's exactly what you think of when you think of a werewolf, which is not what I want. I want a unique look to him, and that does not happen on this Home Depot werewolf. I would have done a different design with his clothing, but overall, I don't know. It's just so basic. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of it. Taking a look at the eyes, I do want to mention this. His eyes are just completely blacked out. They are screens. What this tells us is that the 12-foot werewolf will also be featuring LCD digital eyes. Just like the other 12-foot props, the Infernal Pumpkin Skeleton and the regular skeleton. They just had digital LCD panel eyes, whatever you want to call them, digital LCD. SVI, obviously, we've been seeing them use a lot of digital eyes in the past couple of years, and like I just mentioned for the other 12-footers, they did use digital eyes, so since we can see on the head that they are just screens, they're completely blacked out, he will be featuring digital eyes. He's just not activated in this picture or plugged in. That's why they're not turned on, they're just completely blacked out. Another thing that I don't love about this guy is the posture that he's kind of in. I don't really love how he has one arm out and one arm facing down. it doesn't look that good to me. Honestly, it looks kind of awkward. A person, or even a werewolf, I feel like this would be an awkward position to stand in. His head is facing one direction, with his arm facing, like, up, but down, with his palm down. Then the other arm is in a completely different spot, where he's not even looking, and it's facing down. It just feels a little bit awkward to me. It doesn't look organic. It looks like a prop, the way it's built, like a metal frame. It doesn't look like a way that a person would stand in. I'm not a huge fan of it. Honestly, I kind of feel like if this guy featured animation, which most likely he won't because the other 12-footers were just static props, and I'll tell you why I feel like this guy is a static prop once again. If he was to feature animation, I feel like it would be awesome to see him go side to side and arms up and down. That's what this looks like to me. This looks like a prop that when activated, the arms would go up and down, and he's kind of caught in an awkward position when he's turned off. But most likely, 99% chance that this is a static prop, and this is the position that he'll be in always. It just feels a little bit awkward to me. It doesn't look organic at all in my eyes. It feels like totally a metal frame, not something that a real person would be able to stand in, and even if they were, it wouldn't be something that was comfortable to stand in. So I'm not a huge fan of the way the arms are positioned. It just doesn't look good. It looks kind of tacky. It just looks like the frame was built like that, and I'm not a huge fan of it. Now, I did just bring up animation. 99% chance that this guy will just be a static prop just like the other 12-footers. And the reason I say this is because if you take a look at the arms, you can see it go to the arm that's facing downward towards the ground. You can kind of see the line that separates the hand piece to the arm, the upper arm piece, kind of like the forearm. This confirms to us that the arm and the hand are two separate pieces. If the arms were going to move, most likely it would just be one piece instead of two pieces. So that kind of confirms to us that the arms, at least, will be static. And the body also looks like that it's just a static plastic piece, which is kind of expected because we did not expect any of the 12-foot animatronics, static props I should say, to actually move, because the last two were just static props. So it kind of looks like that this guy's a static prop as well. Overall, the leaked 12-foot towering werewolf is just an alright prop in my opinion. Definitely not something that I'm going to rave about. Definitely not something that I'm going to say is like the best thing I've ever seen. It's just alright. It's just, I don't know. Like, I don't even really know what to say about it. It's just meh when I think about it. The shininess is really what sets me off about him. But nonetheless, this is our first leak of the Home Depot 2022 season. Pretty interesting to see that something got leaked this far ahead. At the time of filming this, it's March. Normally, we don't get leaks from any Halloween company until like June. So pretty surprising to see that a leak came out in March. But nonetheless, it's pretty exciting because it kicks off the Home Depot Halloween 2022 lineup with a leak and a first look at the 12-foot towering werewolf. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap up my video, taking a look at and reacting to this brand new leaked image of the Home Depot 2022 towering werewolf taken by a Home Depot manager at a manager meeting. Like I mentioned, overall, I'm not a huge fan of the towering werewolf. He's just alright. He's definitely not something that is so amazing that I'm like shocked at it. It's just alright. I feel like a fur material once again would have made him 100 times better than he is currently. But overall, it's still interesting to see because the 12-foot lineup from Home Depot is being continued with a werewolf character. Ladies and gentlemen, remember as always, for everything scary, I'm GMHaunts. I'll also guys out for more Home Depot Halloween 2022 videos and Transworld. I'll also be making some more Transworld videos because as of the time of filming this, it's March 17th. Transworld opened up today, and I'll have more videos on that. Stay tuned. Goodbye.